the lights out, high till it's bright out. Oh, just another lonely night. Are you willing to sacrifice your life?
What's going down, everybody? It's Kevin the Greats, and I'm coming at you guys with another commentary about my ex-girlfriend. I apologize in advance if I sound kind of sick and stuffy nose, and it's just because I simply am. And I wanted to continue to talk about my girlfriend because I like this involving relationship. I'm starting to develop, because I'm letting you guys into my personal life. It's actually helping me in ways you would never know. It's kind of like therapy in a way for me. After the last video I posted, I received such an incredible support from the few that did comment on my actual video, and it helped me get past this hump I couldn't get over before, and that was this bottled up emotion and resentment I had inside of me. I never thought I would ever reveal, and it just kept growing and eating at me. The things I talked about in that commentary were issues to this day I still haven't even told some of my closest friends. It's really hard for me to open up to someone in person. It's just how I am. It's how I've always been, because I don't like the feeling of being emotionally vulnerable in front of someone. I like being seen as a very strong person who kind of has it together. I know that's something I should work on, but being able to finally let those issues out and talk about what was going on to me, with me during that time, it's actually helped me get closer and closer to my 100% recovery, from my post-breakup experience. I like to think of you guys as, my friends and my family, and seeing the support I was getting was phenomenal. Even though it wasn't as much feedback as I thought I was going to get from more people, but for those who did comment, it actually helped me out a hell of a lot, and I do really appreciate it, and I hope you guys continue to support and continue to comment on my videos. If you haven't seen the video that I last posted, I'll leave the link of it in the description for you guys to check out after. It's probably the deepest commentary I will ever go into on my channel. It's about my post-breakup experience with my ex-girlfriend of 5 years. I didn't want you guys to think too ill of my ex, because even though she hurt me in some ways I couldn't even describe to this day, she was still a huge part of my life, and there was a long time where I was the happiest person in the world because of her. And I wanted to share the story of how we got together, because it's a moment I'll never forget for the rest of my life. No matter, how much she put me through, I will still always remember this moment, and it'll make me feel happy. It's a moment I do keep very close to my heart, and I haven't told this story in over 4 years, so I hope you guys enjoy it. It's definitely a more positive commentary compared to the last one, because the last one was a little emotional, and it was a little sad to hear after I would replay it a couple times. So I met my ex long time ago. I can't do the math in my head right now. I'm very fucking lazy. But it was in grade 7. I'm in university now in 2nd year, so it's been a really long time. What happens is, from grade 1 to 5, you go through primary school. After that, you go to middle school, which is 6 to 8. And then after that, you go through high school, 9 to 12. And then after that, you go to college or university. And that's usually what people do. So I met her in middle school. This is grade 7. I met her through one of my friends that I grew up with during primary school, because they became friends. They were in the same class. And obviously I was gonna, go up to my friend and be like, what's going on? Let's go play or whatever. And she introduced me to her new friend, which was my ex. And she was cool at the time. She was different than a lot of other girls, but I think that's why she really attracted me. We had this group of girls in my school that were, referred to as the Plastics. And the reason why they were referred to as the Plastics is because they, were always caking up makeup, and they wore like spandex tights to show off their booty, tight shirts to show off their cleavage, and their bras and whatnot. And they were the girls that were kind of like the hoes of the school. And some guys did really want to get at that, and were digging that and all that. But the thing about my ex that all the dudes liked is because she wasn't like that, but she was still very attractive. She was a really, really pretty girl, and she was down to earth. She was mad cool. So, I loved kicking it with her, and we kind of formed this group where we used to hang out every day after school. You know what I mean? Go swimming, go eat pizza, just chill out, just kick it, go to movies, go to the mall and stuff like that. And we did that for 2 years, and it was great. But what ended up happening is I started to like this girl in the group, which was my ex. I started to really, really like her, and I guess she started to like me too. So this is where the good part starts to happen. How we actually got to be where we did, and how I fell in love with her. It was like a regular, I think it was a school night, and I was at home, I was chilling. My parents were actually getting ready to go to a wedding, one of their friends' wedding. It was about, I would say, 6 o'clock, which is actually late at that time for me. I was Asian. My parents were very strict. I did have a curfew, so 6 o'clock was late as hell. That's when I thought killers were, about at nights, looking for prey and shit like that. So I was at home just chilling. And back then, at our age, MSN Messenger was really fucking big. If you were at home, you were on MSN. That's it. It's a live chat. So yeah, that's what I was doing. I was on my computer. I was on MSN, and I saw my ex online, and her status or her display name or whatever was like, I'm bored, who wants to hang out or who wants to go do something. And I hit her up. I didn't actually think that she was gonna be like, yeah, let's go kick it or whatever. I just tried to spark a conversation because I did like her, and I would do whatever I could to talk to her. So I hit her up. I'm like, yeah, yo, you want to hang out? Blah 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 blah. And she was like, yeah, I'm down. And that kind of shocked me. I was like, oh shit, she's actually down to hang out. I think that was the first time I actually hung out with her one-on-one for a really long time. I was like, oh shit, she actually is down to hang out. Oh damn, like what am I gonna do? And I was scared as shit. So she ended up coming down to my hood, and down the street from my house back then was my primary school, and we had like a play skate there, which had this wooden bridge, this wobbly wooden bridge that at that age we'd love to jump on and stuff like that. I mean, at that age when I was growing up from grade 1 to 5, but we were in grade 7 at the time, or this is probably grade 8. Oh no, this is grade 9, grade 9, grade 9. Yes, this is grade 9. I've known her since grade 7, but this is grade 9. And we were on that bridge. It was probably like 8 o'clock now. It was starting to get really cold. So we started to snuggle. And me snuggling at that time, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I didn't even know how to snuggle. Like, it was weird. I've never even really hugged a girl or really held on to a girl at that age. Back then, I was that little Asian shy kid, that timid kid who was always very quiet and was always in the shadows, wasn't trying to, be in the spotlight kind of thing. So I was really nervous. I was scared shitless. I didn't know what the hell to do. I was like, damn, like I have never even kissed a girl yet. What am I supposed to do? All I knew is what I've seen in movies. And I was like, damn, that can't be actually how this works. But the night actually, played out really well for me. So it started to get really chilly. So it forced us to get really close. And I kind of held her, and we were snuggling. And we were just looking up at the stars. And that night, I remember the stars were really, really vivid. You could see them really well. But because we were still, in a suburban area that was pretty close to downtown, you couldn't see that many stars. But the stars that you could see were bright as hell. And I remember we used to see a lot of helicopters flying by, and we would make wishes on the helicopters or some stupid shit like that. And we saw 2 shooting stars. I remember this very clearly because it was the first time I've ever seen them, and it was her first time too. I've never seen a shooting star in my life besides that one time. Even to this day, I still have not seen one after that, and it was kind of like, "Whoa, this is a sign." So I thought to myself, you know what? I need to go for it, and I summoned this courage. It came out of nowhere. It was like somebody entered my body and it was like, "Yo, Kevin, don't worry, I got this." You know what I mean? I got this. Don't worry about it. You'll thank me later. And I entered this mode where I was just so confident. I was like, dude, I'm going for it. And I kissed her on her forehead. I remember that very clearly because even me, like, I was like, what the hell did I just do? I just kissed her on her forehead. What the hell? So I kissed her on her forehead, and she was shocked. She was very shocked, but she wasn't appalled, and that was a good sign. And I continued to work my way down. So then I kissed her nose, I kissed her cheeks, then I kissed her chin, and then I just went for it, and I kissed her lips, and she kissed me back. And it was an absolutely magical, amazing feeling. And we started to, make out a little bit, and it was just great. It was my very first kiss, and there was just something about her that I felt like, yo, you know what, like, I really like this girl. And she turned out to be the girl that I loved dearly for the next 5 years, and it was great. I was really happy. But while we were making out, my parents actually called me, and my phone started ringing while we were kissing, and I picked it up. I was like, damn, it said mom on it. It's on the color display. I picked up. My mom was like, where the hell are you? You know what time it is? And she was like flipping out, and I was like, all right, don't worry. I'm going to come home. I'm just down the street. I'll be home in like 10 minutes. So we had to wrap it up. I walked her to the bus stop, which was even further away from my house. And I remember once she got onto the bus, I was just so happy. I couldn't stop smiling, and I felt all woozy, and then I had all this adrenaline that I just ran all the way home. And when I got home, I didn't even tell my parents where the hell I went, who the hell I was with. I remember just going into my room, flopping on my back on my bed, and falling asleep while I was smiling. It's hard to believe, but that's exactly what happened. And probably, I didn't end up smiling as I was sleeping, but when I was going to sleep, I definitely was smiling because I couldn't stop. The next day I hit her up. We went to the mall, and on the way home, on the bus, I asked her, I'm like, yo, do you want to be my girlfriend? And she said, yeah. And that was the start of the next, 4.5 greatest years of my life. And I'll never forget that one moment that we had, the first time we kissed, because it was absolutely amazing. And that's the story of how it happened, and how we started to date, and then turn into what it did today. I hope you guys enjoyed that commentary. It's something that was very special to me. I don't know if it did that much for you guys, but I hope you enjoyed regardless. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think and what I should be talking about next in my my next video. All right, peace.